They say that the best gifts come in small packages, and that a little gesture goes a long way, and that it's the little things in life. Joey Star here for Star Quality Kitchen. Today I will be reviewing Nature Nate's Hot Honey. Just so happens that I had received a gift basket that includes samples of all sorts of goodies, including some hot honey, and you know for damn sure how much I cannot resist showing you 3 of my favorite ways to test a hot honey that I've never tasted before. But before we get to my 3 tests, let's try some of this honey just as it is. So tear it open. One of the things I like about this packaging, if you want to see it up close, kind of looks like a bottle, doesn't it? And as such, I'm just going to tear open where the cap is. Isn't that just so clever? And now let's try a dab of the hot honey as is, because I'm curious. Aren't you curious? I'm curious. And you know what they say, a little dab will do ya. Just give it just a little touch here. All right, so, oh, it's really runny. So you can see here, and it has this nice honey appearance, kind of a golden brown, maybe with a tint of a reddish to it, or maybe I'm imagining that. And it's running down my finger, so you can see it's not very thick, but so let me go ahead and taste that. You know, it's got a nice flavor to it. It's sweet, of course. Duh, it's honey, right? It's not so sweet that it's making me pucker up, per se. And I kind of appreciate that. One of the things that turns me off about honey is that it's so intense. This one's not so intense. Now, as far as the heat goes, I mean, I tasted it now. And if I hadn't already read on the package that it was a hot honey, I would have just thought it was honey, but you never know. Maybe it needs time to build up. Let's go ahead and get into the first real test. My favorite way to eat it, fried chicken. So here I have a nice crispy fried chicken thigh that I picked up from ShopRite. Now the reviews about the honey, not the chicken, but I will say this is nice and crispy. It's got a nice aroma to it. I figure the best way to give this honey a fair chance is to eat it with chicken that I like, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to scrutinize Nate for crappy chicken. I'm just going to go ahead and just drizzle some. In fact, let's get a little close up here. Let's get a little, just so you can kind of see there. Put about 1/3 on there. Yeah. I mean, it drizzles out really nice. All right, see it on there? Nice and glistened up for us. It's glistened. The honey has a very passive aroma to it, not very strong scented at all. And that's kind of consistent with how it's just sweet as opposed to sweet. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and take this bite. Again, this review is not about the chicken, but that was a hell of a crunch, wasn't it? So good. The sweetness of the honey provides a beautiful contrast for the savory, peppery nature of the seasoning that's on this fried chicken. And then when your teeth sinks past the skin and into the actual meat of the chicken, some of that honey kind of gets dragged down in there with it. So that kind of blends a bit with the thigh meat. And I find it kind of pleasant. The chicken, of course, would be completely fine on its own because it's good chicken. But having the hot honey in there adds a depth. And there's nothing wrong with a little more depth to your chicken. So now I want to get a second bite of this just because I'm curious about something. All right, I want to bite in another area where I know there's plenty of honey, like right this corner right here. I have to admit, the amount of sweetness that this honey has, I feel like Nature Nate really has a nice ratio. Like whatever recipe that company's using, it works. It works good. It's tasty. It's not overly sweet. It's loose enough where it's not like a real sticky mess. Just, it feels really pleasant when put against a salty base like this. The comment I want to make now is I'm a couple of bites in with the honey and I'm getting just a teeny tiny hint of a heat buildup. And I say teeny tiny, you kind of have to pay attention for it. So if you're worried about this being like too hot for you, I wouldn't. Even if you're not into hot foods, it's just a hint more than just a warmth to it. And that's okay, because when push comes to shove, what matters most, more than anything, on any kind of honey, hot or not, is the flavor. The flavor is definitely there. The heat, not so much, but I can live with that. Next test. Wheat toast. Love having honey on wheat toast. There's something about it's like wheat and toast were made to be good friends. Got a little carried away in my toaster on the char here, so you can see. Who's cooking for me? Scorpion? Toasty! Yeah, go ahead and take the honey and just kind of drizzle it on. I'm just going to put it on a corner here because, again, we got to ration this out a bit because I got another test after this. Plus, whatever I have left over after filming, I want to use on another piece of chicken because, damn, that chicken tasted good. All right, drizzle it on there. So in the context of the toast, whether you can see it or not, I like how the color is like a little different, a little more of a contrast there. That's neat. And you probably noticed that the sucker's just dripping right off the toast. So it really is kind of a looser honey that you may be used to. Again, not a bad thing. I feel like that consistency is consistent with the smoothness of the flavor and the fact that it's not overly sweet. Go ahead and take that bite. Let's see if we can get another crunch here. It's not about the toast, but toast is nice and crunchy. In this context, you get to appreciate more how strong or not strong the sweetness is. Something about the level of sweetness on this is that, truth be told, I'm not a big honey fan. I like it in certain contexts, but other than that, it's not something I go running for. But I tell you what, the way this honey tastes, the fact that it's passively sweet as opposed to just grabbing your taste buds by the throat, I really appreciate it. Like, I would look more forward to having honey like this than your standard jar of honey. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of soak up a little bit more here. The taste. If you recall when I was eating the chicken, how a couple of bites in, I was feeling some of that heat build up. It's even less so, I think, with the toast. And I don't know what it is about that. Perhaps the breading just kind of soaks it up a bit differently the way it does the deep fried bread. So that's the deal with that. Again, lending more credence to flavor over heat. It is a good honey. If you were sick and your stomach's not feeling great, toast is a natural thing to eat. And this type of honey on the toast gives you a nice outlet to enjoy a little taste of sweetness without really upsetting anything and benefiting from the antibiotic properties of a good honey. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's another successful test. Next, and finally, I want to test this honey with some cheese. Specifically, I picked up some American cheese. Now, I'm not really into processed cheese, so I picked up a natural American, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take this square and just kind of fold it in half here. A bit more suited for eating straight. I'm gonna go ahead for the final time and just kind of drizzle carefully because this, it's not very thick. This honey right onto this cheese here. You see, Morty? I told you. Obviously, I feel pretty confident with the flavor of this thing because I'm just drizzling it generously now because I know it's going to be good. Go ahead and take a bite. Yes, very nice. The creaminess of the dairy and this cheese and that little bit, like a hint of a sharpness with it, is such a beautiful counterpart for that sweet and somewhat silky honey. It's another match made in heaven here. Yeah, you go in and it's like the salty and the sweet just kind of mix in the middle. But instead of fighting each other, they're greeting each other. But I don't just mean like they're shaking hands and being perfect gentlemen. No, it's a full-on bro hug, dude. Like seriously, like these are old friends, hadn't seen each other in quite some time. And rather than focus on the fact that they've been apart for a long time, they're just picking up where they left off and enjoying the moment. So that's my review. Nature Nate's hot honey. Tried it straight, and I tried it with 3 different foods that I like testing honey on. Overall, positive. It's passively sweet, really easy to take in because it's a looser liquid. It's smooth. It has a nice natural flavor to it, but the heat is practically non-existent. In fact, the only time I even felt like a little bit of a hint of heat was on the chicken. On the toast and the cheese, really kind of non-existent there. It was like they were neutralized by those items. Truly enjoyable. well, I'm not going to run to the supermarket right away to buy a bottle. But if I happen to be shopping and I see Nature Nate's honey is there, I'll go ahead and purchase some because it's not a bad thing to have on hand for the next time that I have fried chicken in the house. And how about you? Have you tried Nature Nate's hot honey? Does Nature Nate have a regular honey that's not hot? If so, have you tried it? What's your favorite? And more importantly, what are your favorite things to have honey in? Is it chicken? Is it tea? Is it something else? Tell me all about it. I especially want to hear those unorthodox ideas. Thanks so much for watching Star Quality Kitchen. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and stalk. Laters. Drizzle the honey onto my chicken. Take a big old crunchy bite. I'm telling you, if you ever tried an extra crispy fried chicken thigh with hot honey, you haven't a clue what the hell you're missing. You need to drop everything and go try it right now. Let's go for the thumbnail shots right now. Thummies right now. Thummies, thummies.